Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Alliance live show number 51. I'm here with my good old chap and bestest bud on the whole freaking
Hello, everyone.
galaxy.
Welcome
To the Alliance. Good old Maurice.
What's going on, man?
Good. How you doing, man?
Pretty good, pretty good.
So we are taking a look at some new characters here. We got Lando in the game now, and we have young Lando. We also have L337 and Lando's new Millennium Falcon to take a look at. Let's go ahead and dive right into the Millennium Falcon and what that's all about. So, have you had a chance to try this ship out, Maurice? What are your thoughts about it so far?
Oh, I played the marquee event, and I'm on a pretty competitive ship chart now, so I'm not gonna just toss them on in there to see how it goes. I need my 5 battles. I don't really have any ones to play with at the moment.
So you haven't really tested around too much, but I mean, the kit seems pretty interesting. Obviously, the ship has a pretty cool reinforcement ability with the ability to go multiple times based on how many reinforcements have been called into the game. What do you think about that as a reinforcement ship versus a ship that you start off with, let's say? I mean, obviously, the majority of the player base isn't going to have this ship off the bat. But what do you think about, like long term with this ship? Do you think this will be a reinforcement ship or a ship that you start with?
It really, I mean, I don't really foresee anybody really having it even in their lineup anytime soon because you need both the pilots, 7-star Gear 12 with the pieces, Zetas. You need the ship itself, 7-star. I don't know if it's going to be good enough at lower rank. We'll see. I think it's got a lot of potential to really come in. What the reinforcement ability itself is, let me read it to make sure I don't screw it up. It comes in with crit damage up for 2 turns and copies all the buffs on the other ships for 2 turns.
It's actually it's actually a sick reinforcement ability.
Like offensively, yes. Offensively, like you can if you can determine when it comes in, let's say you're using Thrawn for instance, and you give all the various ships, like you give Biggs defense up, you give TIE advanced offense up, you give like Biston foresight, and then you call in the Millennium Falcon, then he gets all of those abilities plus crit damage up. That's pretty awesome. Like that is super cool off the bench.
Now, what about these other new characters like Lando and L3? I mean, do you think that they are meta like Nest, or do you think these are characters that are going to be relying upon maybe again like the rest of the scoundrels, or the newer scoundrels at least, another character that needs to be in this game?
Well, these are the 2018 Phoenix, is what they are. There's 5 of them, and you better bet something that they're going to be required for some sort of legendary event. Maybe some future TB phase. Who knows? I can't tell. I mean, I don't have any sort of insider knowledge or anything. But they will be used for something. I mean, it's pretty obvious, and they synergize well with one another. I do think Lando and L3 are 2 of the better characters. And I think L3 is the one exception of the whole bunch that has utility outside of this very specific, prepared based scoundrel team.
Right, and that's kind of what I was getting at is, I mean, do you see L3 having viability with, let's say, a droid squad?
Yes, she definitely is a good, probably better replacement for like Chief Nebbit. A lot of people that use the traditional droids with Jawa Engineer and Chief Nebbit. She's definitely a solid replacement for there, just for the simple fact that we're probably gonna do some gameplay. Are we gonna do some gameplay with her tonight?
Oh yeah,
and you'll see and it gives all of your droids or scoundrels like a get out of jail free card. Like they're about to die, and then just all of a sudden they equalize health with L3, and that's a cool mechanic. So basically, all of the droids or scoundrels on your team get like a revive. They get 1 revive, kind of like very similar to how the like Hoth Rebel Soldier, Hoth Rebel Scout, like Commander Luke Skywalker, the Hoth characters in the light side TB. If you kill them, they come back.
Right.
So it's very similar to that. That's very cool, but it doesn't really solve the the problem with the droids is the new school droids. Some of these new droid teams, they kind of lack damage. You know, you've got K2SO, you've got Chopper, you've got B2, those type of droids. They do no damage. Because realistically, the only time you're going to build a droid team in like a TW setting, you're not going to have your BB-8, you're not going to have your R2 available. You know, you're not going to have those two, and those are the two best. So you got to build a team of the leftovers.
But I mean, there's major damage dealers like IG-88, IG-86. I mean, where do they fall? I mean, I know that they don't really necessarily have the health to stay in battle with some of the newer characters. But I mean, like, do you think that, you know, you could put together a composition that could possibly beat a meta team with, let's say, HK-47 lead?
Yeah, and you can do it now, but it's just that it's not going to hold. But you can definitely climb with the droids right now. There's lots of people doing it. I tried it out. It was okay. It's just kind of frustrating, you know. I think if you have the mods to do so, you don't even need HK-47. You can build a pretty good team with that 88 lead, and then you also get the you'll give him a bounty hunter, you know, the contract. So it's doable. It'll be interesting to see how players use this character, because I think you can use her at 3 or 4 stars. She's pretty tanky, and again, she's got the revive.
Do we have to call her a she? I mean, could we call her an it? I mean, it is kind of an it, right? I mean, it's not really a she or a he, but I mean, yeah, no, it's definitely a girl droid. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think that it's one of those things where, you know, I still feel like sticking any droids in like an arena really probably wouldn't be too good for you. But you could probably squeeze out some territory wars battles with this character in addition to some droids. It depends on the squad, obviously. I don't think I'd go in there against a Palpatine team with L3 and HK-47.
I mean, this is a test account. Let's test it. You know
right,
what I mean?
Right. You know, we can give it a shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think that Lando is kind of interesting in that his ability. This is kind of cool. The Zeta here. So at the start of L337's turns, if L337 didn't take any damage from any enemy since her last turn, she becomes prepared. Whenever another droid or scoundrel ally takes damage, L337 gains 15% turn meter. Whenever L337 takes damage from an attack, she dispels debuffs from a random debuffed scoundrel ally. The first time each other droid ally is reduced to 1% health, they equalize health with L337.
Yes. That is officially the longest ability in the game.
Right?
That's crazy.
Right, but I mean, so that means, like, if somebody, like, does that mean if they die, or if they're about to die, their health automatically boosts up before they die?
You know, we'll see in the test, but in the marquee event, it seemed like if somebody was going to die, it didn't matter, like 1% health if they reached that or below. Like if they got, you know, if they got one shot, it seemed they just pop. They wouldn't even die. They just instantly get all their health back, because L3 has a huge health pool. So like anytime you equalize with a character like IG-88, who's got a very, very small health pool, I mean, it's pretty much going to fill him right up, and it's not going to hurt L3 that much at all. You know, it's like Barris's heal, you know, Hermit Yoda's heal, like Chirrut's heal. It's like one of those types of heals, and I don't think the heal block will block it. We'll see. A lot of testing. You know, we just got the character. I mean, I got it up to probably Gear 7.
Yeah, I haven't really tried obviously much with her. I mean, I was planning on doing a video with all these characters, but I you know, that's why I was saving the unlock. But you know, doing it on the live show is fine too. So I'll just put some mods here on her, and we'll give it a shot. I'd also want to unlock the Millennium Falcon and try that a little bit in arena. Did you just take a picture?
Yes.
You taking selfies right now?
No. Vistar Kai asked a question in the chat. I'm just gonna go ahead and message him my thoughts on that.
Okay.
We'll answer the question on the stream later, but sorry, I didn't. My bad. That was loud.
That's fun. It was just funny. Yeah, I'm not going to necessarily go with any sets here. I'm just going to go with the highest speed, and we'll deal with the sets later. For now, I just want to get this rolling. Let's go with that, and then we'll go with that.
Panda says, "What's up, Supreme Guild Leader Remon?"
What's going on, Panda? All right, so that's that. Now we can activate the Millennium Falcon. Boom! It's a pretty looking ship. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited about all the new characters we've got. I feel like we've had more characters in the last few weeks than we've ever had in this game. Am I right by saying that? I mean, we've had what, like, let's see, young Lando, the new Millennium Falcon, L337, Kira, young Han, young Chewie. And then before that, we had a whole bunch of characters too. Right before the, with
yeah, well, we've got the Scion. We had God, what is her name? Visas Mar. We had, Sith Marauder. That was a while ago. But we got the the Han Solo team.
We just had Bosk.
Bosk.
A few weeks ago, and yeah, I feel like it's just a lot of characters just being thrown at once. I mean, like, I feel like there's more characters that I don't have right now than I've ever not had before in the game. Like, there's definitely like a lot of catching up to do.
Well, it's because they heard all the veteran players like, I've got nothing to farm in hard nodes. They're like, well, we've got a surprise for you. Have all of these characters. They're all going to be hard nodes. There you go. Yeah. Hope you guys got all your Ewok scouts done, because all of those, the repetitive ones, they seem to be just eliminating them, which kind of stinks for like First Order Stormtrooper, like characters like that, where you kind of like having 2 and 3 nodes to kind of speed it up, but they're just going to go down to 1, just like the rest of them eventually. So, but I will say that Darth Scion Kylo's command shuttle node is a pretty solid deal. That's a pretty good deal. You get a ship along with Scion, and everyone should be farming Scion, and you just get to finish that ship, but at least you get it. You don't have to go. Before, like, I was going back farming that ship when First Order Stormtroopers already on it. I already have that character, so now you at least get to finish the ship with a character you don't have. So that's nice. They're bundling up some of these hard nodes, these Cantina nodes, to make them a little more valuable, which I think is real cool. I much prefer that over a brand new like 9 and 10 table on the light side, 9 and 10 table on the dark side, like a whole new Cantina table. So I'm glad they're doing it like this.
Jesus, when you have all the resources like this, there should be a button to just let you like activate all of them at once. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess that would be a problem because some people would accidentally hit that button.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, I mean, it takes a long time to level up all these abilities. I guess why not, right?
Yeah, you might as well.
Okay, so we'll do this. Yes. We'll do this. Yes. Okay, so
looking at you having 200,000 ship Omega abilities is making me want to throw up in my mouth. Like, just collecting like 6 a week. I'm just like, ugh.
Well, I did finish up Lando. I got him all ready to go, and now L3's done, and so is the Millennium Falcon, so we can do a little testing now. But let's first and foremost go into some Squad Arena here, and we'll take a look at a battle against a Rey Jedi training team. And let's test with... Should we go with a full, like, Scoundrel squad with, like, Kira lead?
Yeah, I mean, you might as well.
I don't think it's going to work out too well, but we'll go ahead and give this a shot. Young Han. We'll go with, should we use Enfy's Nest?
Just use the five the preparation characters.
Preparation
Kind of
team. The preparation team. Okay.
yeah.
Lando. We got Vandor, Chewbacca here, and then we've got where's L3?
Yeah, and these are pretty complex mechanics. I mean, I was trying to actually utilize the practice rounds in these marquee events to, like L3's first node. Like it gives you this team that you're building here, and you get to practice with it. I was trying to see, where all the, because prepared gets passed to this guy, you lose it on this person, you pass it over here. It's like a big game of hot potato in the middle of an arena battle.
Yeah.
It's just like what's going on. I have a character hit for 100,000 one turn, and then the next turn they hit for like 8K. I'm like, wait a second. But Lando's I think it's called Hot Hand is his special ability. It's actually cool. It does a good damage, and it's got this mechanic where it reduces the cooldown for every debuffed enemy. I think it is, and it triggers it every single turn. Like in some of these battles, you'll see maybe like a character on your team will go, and there'll be a couple debuffed enemies. They're like hot hand reduced. Like every time your characters take a turn, it reduces his ability. I mean, you can theoretically, if you build the proper team, you can do that move over and over and over again. That's pretty awesome.
I mean, this is like an annihilation here already. I haven't even like gone. I've taken one turn here, and everybody's already dead.
It just, and you see all these teams they're giving us. They're giving us the bounty hunters. They're giving us these scoundrels.
Oh my goodness!
These are not PvP teams. Like, so it just like what is coming. Like, so there's
oh my god! I went one time. I used Vandor Chewbacca, and that's it.
Well,
let me try it against another team. I'll try it against the same exact team.
You got the like Geonosian teams on your shard. Maybe you should go against them.
I could go against the
Go against Mist's team. Yeah, the little mirror team there.
Well, it's kind of a mirror team. He's got Emphy's Nest, and that's gonna be the game. That's gonna be the difference maker right there. Really. Okay, so let's see.
Oh,
here.
Nest goes first. Oh yeah, you're screwed. Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, yeah. It's already over. So L3 3/7 gains 50% count chance for the rest of the battle. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, we're gonna dispel. Ness is already destroying my team. Envy's Ness is already okay. So let's do this. What's this? If young Lando was targeted, okay.
Or since you're never going to get a turn, watch the opposing team. Okay, you actually have some debuffs on there, and every time one of your characters goes, yeah, the hot hand, you'll see it just refresh. Yeah, everyone in the chat's talking about the raid potential. I think there is definitely some raid potential with this team. It's just just a little late, like that raid came out, and everyone is they might not be the optimal teams, but they have teams that can do their part in the raid, and a lot of people are putting a big damage in it, but everyone pretty much knows what team to build now to do your part. It's just like the bounty hunters and these type of these synergies that come out that are clearly PvE squads. It's just seems a little late. Like, I don't know. Everyone's got their raids and their night sisters and their whatever they're using a P2. Then they've got their Chex Mix team for P3, and just, I mean, there's not much. There's really not that much incentive to get these characters for the raid.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, although yes, even though I mean I agree 100% about the raid viability. I just feel like you said, it's just one of those things where, I mean, you're really going to have to make a serious investment for a raid, and I mean I don't think it's going to be that much of a game changer where it's going to be worth necessarily going that deep. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's one of those things where it makes sense, but I can't imagine even a person, unless you're really just want to try the characters out, and again, everybody's financial situation is a little bit different. I just don't know why you would go all out for just a raid squad. I mean, I think you'd want to go all out for a team that's going to help you get crystals in arena.
Well, yeah, we've got guys in the guild that buy almost every character that comes out, and just the other day in TB, like it's like P4, and nobody has, and like we have these characters in platoons, and nobody has them, not a single person. But I guarantee if they release these characters, 3 months ago when we're struggling hardcore with the Sith raid, we would probably have a handful of them. But it's just,
I mean, listen, same in Alpha. We have guys that buy the character. We have tons of guys that have well, not tons, but we have a few guys that have these characters maxed out already, and the ship and everything. And it's like, I'm just saying though, for the person that does like the Solo movie a lot, they like these characters, they want to invest in the characters. I just don't see. I mean, there's teams that can get you where you need to get already in the raid, right? And this one, has its potential, but again, it's still kind of trying. Your people are still trying to figure it out. So I mean, it's one of those things where I think you're going to have to wait a little bit and just see, where the viability really is. Like right now, I bet you we're not going to even be able to beat Enfys Nest right here. But before this is going to be.
This would be interesting. Yeah, this is. If you guys wake up tomorrow with a magic $300 underneath your pillow, and you're trying to decide which of these characters to buy, this is a good example to watch. Like, which one of these characters should I get?
Enfys Nest is worth every nickel. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, it's really though. Just a fantastic character. I mean,
I hear people kind of dogging her, like, oh, she's easy to beat. Yeah, but I mean, in my opinion, she's top 5 to 10 character offensively in the game. Like she's amazing.
Fantastic character. I mean, really, just does. I mean, best character since Scion, without a doubt.
Ooh, yeah.
And
these characters. This could be another case of like the Phoenix. They gave us all these Phoenix, and everyone's angry and pissed off because they need all 5. But the majority of the Phoenix, they're all in really very easy farms. And this could be a case where maybe these characters are going to early Cantina nodes, maybe early hard nodes. In the future, when new players pick up the game, maybe younger players, and they've seen the Solo movie, they like it, they just go straight for this team. We'll see. I don't know. It looks fun. It looks like a lot of fun.
Well, who do you think we should try out against? I mean, I could switch this Rage Jedi training team here to something else. Like, what do you think is a good team to battle against right now?
Like a team you could beat.
Right.
You could. I don't know, man. Like,
I mean, maybe a CLS team. I don't think so. That's not going
to No. They'll counter you.
I think really the mirror team here. I mean, maybe a scoundrel team with like Bosk.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, try to fight the bounty hunters. Why not?
The bounty hunters, right? But while we do that, let's just go and let's just try the Millennium Falcon out. Okay.
Yeah, turn that music down, boy. You'll get a copyright strike.
Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Yeah. All right.
I probably should have called it out. Apologies.
That's all right. It's all right. All right. So I'm gonna take out this. We'll go with the Millennium Falcon, and we'll take this out, and we'll go with Akbar. I guess we'll use some Rebel ships. We'll use both versions of Millennium Falcon here and just go bananas. Right? Just go a little bananas. Just go all like Rebels here. Even though this is not necessarily the best composition at all.
I don't know, man. I kind of like the Akbar ship. I really do. Some of the Rebel ships are good. Some of them are, Like, poor Wedge didn't really get much of a hookup in terms of 2.0. He's still like, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to put Biggs in the starting lineup. And then put Wedge over here. No. Okay, I'm gonna take wedge out.
I would bring Biggs off the bench. Well, do you have the reinforcement maxed out?
Not yet. No.
Because you have no target lock mechanic with the Falcons, do you? There's no target lock, is there?
No. I could put the Falcons on the. I just have taunt with Biggs to start. But all right, so no, we'll just start like this. I mean, I don't think the battle I have is going to be too complicated. Let me just try. Let's go with wedge there. I think this is going to actually be pretty easy. So. Now let's see what we got here. So this is the Lando Millennium Falcon. This deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict offense down. For 2 turns, this attack deals 25% more damage against debuffed enemies. So let's save that. Deal physical damage to target enemy with a 70% chance to grant defense penetration for up to defense. So defense penetration up to self and other random ally for 2 turns.
And that's a new mechanic, I think, for ships. There's not there's not any defense penetration, is there?
No, there isn't. Deal physical damage to target enemy and dispel all buffs on them. Lando's Millennium Falcon gains 5% critical chance and 5% offense stacking for each buff dispelled until the end of the encounter.
Ooh, boy, that's nasty.
All right, so let's go with a basic here. Okay, it's a...
And it went first there. I mean, you're not facing any first order TIE pilot, Kylos, or TIE fighter pilots, but it did go first, so it's got good speed.
It's also gone now. So that's the end of that ship. And that's the end of the Lando's Millennium Falcon. I mean, a very tanky ship, this Millennium Falcon, I have to tell you. You know, I mean, I thought, of course, it's the first ship to go. You know, that's just how this works. But we'll, you know what? I've got crystals. So we're just gonna get out of here, and we're gonna do it again because this is a test account, and we can do what we want to, right? We can do what we want to. All right. So I'm gonna get myself
together here. That was funny to me.
We're gonna go back in there, okay? And this time, we're gonna switch it up a little bit. So. This Millennium Falcon is going to be gone. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in Cassian's ship. Is that Cassian or is that... Yeah, it's Cassian. We're going to put in Cassian's ship. We're going to get rid of that one. Going to bring in the Ghost and the Phantom. And we'll put Biggs' ship in there. Do you think I should go with Biston's ship?
Well, if you're going to use Biggs in the starting lineup, you almost have to use Biston because you need that target lock to get him to taunt. Or like a TIE fighter pilot or first. You need some sort of taunt or target lock.
What about Poe Dameron?
I mean, he doesn't target lock, but he's good. He's a good ship.
Okay, so let's get rid of Wedge.
And don't use Wedge.
And then we'll go with Vader's ship. There we go. It kind of ruins the whole theme of Rebels, but who cares? All right, so now we're going to attack this from a different vantage point here, and we're going to go with let's use the special first and just do it, you know? Just do that. No, why? Like, why go for that ship first? Like, I mean, like, why not just?
You get a second chance with it this time.
No, I'm not gonna get another chance. They're gonna kill it. Okay, I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna heal this. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna heal the Millennium Falcon, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna use that attack, and then we're going to use this attack. There we go. Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That was awesome. That was a cool even. That was like a cool. That was like a cool mechanic. It actually looked pretty cool, and it dispelled the taunt. Even though he's taunted again. Okay, we gotta bring in a reinforcement now. Let's go with which one is the cooler reinforcement, the Phantom or the Ghost?
Uh,
I think it's the
well, you can click on it and see what their abilities are before you, and then you have to click. You click it twice now. You click on it, it shows you what it does, then you can call them in.
Inflict critical chance down to all enemies for 1 turn. Phantom 2 gains stealth for 2 turns.
Neither one of those are game changing, but
okay, we're calling him Poe. Just because Poe does a heck of damage. There we go. No! That should have been enough. Okay.
I'll tell you what, man, if you can keep that Millennium Falcon alive, he's got stacking offense, stacking crit chance, and defensive penetration. He's going to hit hard. Much like the TIE Silencer, he's gonna bring the pain.
No, don't do it. Okay. No. Okay, so now we can keep going after. Oh, there it goes. But we can still win this battle. Let's speed this up a little bit. Maybe not.
Panda about had a stroke in the chat. He's wanting you to call him the Phantom. Phantom.
Okay. Panda's pretty good at ships, so I mean I'm gonna take his word on it. But
it's late now.
yeah. I mean next time, Hey, listen, we'll do a couple of ship battles too. I mean we're gonna go move back to an arena battle against the bounty hunters, but we'll come back. We'll circle back around to some ship battles, and this is atrocious anyway. I mean we're getting hammered here. I probably have to pick a different fleet. I think the rebels aren't the way to go. This is clearly bad. I like Akbar's ship, but I think I just need to put the abilities on him, because this guy probably has all these ships maxed out.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So that's all right. So let me just put Bosk in arena here, and then we'll have that match. Okay, so that was
everyone wants you to amp up your reinforcement abilities.
My reinforcement abilities?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'll do that. Oh. That sucks. I don't have Bosk on this account. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do I'll do a Night Sister team.
Yeah. Night Sisters would be good. Something maybe like Night Sisters, maybe something like First Order, maybe something you encounter in TW, maybe not Arena, but a team you face a lot.
Okay. Let me go into ships real quick and level up some of the reinforcement abilities of the other ships.
Yeah, if you max out Cassian there, that's a really good one to come off the bench. Just AoE Dispel, it's pretty nice.
Well, I have all the stuff, so we might as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all maxed out now. Okay, so Cassian's ship is done. We can do the other Millennium Falcon. I don't know if we really want to use this ship anyway, but it's pretty good. It's cool to have them both out there at the same time, just for, you know, just for the sake of having two Millennium Falcons out there at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll do the last one here. And then we were talking about the ghosts. Actually, Panda mentioned the Phantom, right?
Yeah, the Phantom. I mean, all of your ships are going to be drastically better now that you've maxed out all the abilities, but Phantom's got a pretty good reinforcement ability.
It's actually one of the best. I mean, a lot of people, when we put out the top ship reinforcement abilities, one of the ones that people mentioned in the comments after we posted the video that they really thought should have been on there was the Phantom.
I think we had the Phantom on there, did we not?
I think we did have the Phantom. I think it was the. I think they thought it was like the best though.
Oh, the Phantom is the one that reduces the call reinforcement. You can call in back-to-back reinforcements, right?
Well, let's check it out. Phantom 2 gains stealth advantage and offense up for 2 turns. Reduces the cooldown of call reinforcement on the allied capital ship by 1, right?
Yeah, it's a good one for sure.
That's really good, yeah.
That ship is just such an investment. You need 3 characters, gear 12 of them, Zeta all of them, put all the ability mats in the ship. It's a very in-game ship for sure.
And the ghost inflicts target lock on all the enemies. Which is actually pretty sick. So we'll do that too. Level up the ghosts. So next time we go in there with Akbar, we're going to be pumping some steam. Pumping some power. Okay, now I just got to juice up my Akbar a little bit. Right? I'm going to go to Akbar and give him some gusto. Max out Akbar stuff. Because Akbar deserves it, right?
Yeah.
Akbar didn't deserve to go out like that, guys. I don't know if... Spoiler warning for anybody who hasn't seen The Last Jedi yet. And if you haven't seen The Last Jedi yet, you know, you're lucky. But Akbar dies off screen. It's not right. It's Admiral freaking Akbar. How do you kill Akbar off screen? I mean, come on. Right? He just gets sucked out of the... I mean, come on, man. You know, Amilyn Haldo gets a send-off, like flying into another ship, you know, at light speed, and Akbar dies off screen.
Yeah, but you can't sell toys of Admiral Akbar. None of the kids know who he is. They know who Holdo is.
Yes, they would know exactly who he is after he did that. After he flew into the supremacy and sacrificed himself, you know, he should have even said like, you know, it would have been awesome if you ever watch the how it should have ended, you know, for The Last Jedi. It's awesome.
Is that the one with Leia?
And no, that's the one where they're like Snoke, like they have like Snoke there, and it's like, that's my backstory, and she's like, oh, and he's like, and then like they just like flash to Snoke, and it's like he's Darth Plagueis, y'all, like on the bottom, you know, it's like, and it's like you know, and then like you know, like Force Ghost, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, like meets Force Ghost Anakin. And there's like, or like, no. Like Force Ghost Anakin meets Kylo Ren. And he's like, grandfather? Grandfather? It's awesome. All right. Let's go to Arena. So we have the Night Sisters in here now. We're going to try this. Even though the Night Sisters are going to totally wipe us out. We're gonna just give it a shot and see what happens. Come on, man. Come on, man. Plague on everybody already? Come on, man. Oh. Oh. We should have went with the first order. This is like... It's like really difficult to watch. Okay. No! Don't do it to Lando. Not Lando. Okay. I mean, I'm probably using this team all wrong anyway. That's probably the main reason this isn't happening, but I mean, man, this is pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, do you have this team modded like half decently or like
Yeah, they're all modded okay. I mean, you know, the only one that really has like I think pretty bad mods is L3 because I just put them together because like I just literally just threw mods on her a couple seconds ago because I didn't want to spend 20 minutes trying to mod her.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, she could obviously have a little bit more optimal mods, but you know, the cool thing about this team is much like before, if you use the team correctly, I mean, you can keep like kind of regenning protection and health with this team. No. We got to get rid of Mother Talzin. At least I got rid of old Daka. I mean, so there's not going to be any revives in this battle, but let's get rid of Mother Talzin ASAP.
Yeah, Kai Bear says Admiral Akbar, he saw the Clone Wars on his planet, fought with Jedi, made it through 2 Death Stars, a Starkiller base, and he says a stupid tornado takes him out. That was terrible.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's a horrible way to take out Akbar.
Yeah.
Akbar deserves better.
Oh, you almost got Talzin.
I think I'm going to get Talzin if this game.
Well, this battle's taking a while, so your Han should really be getting pretty beefed up, yeah?
Yeah, Han is pretty beefed up. Come on, don't taunt. No. Okay. Yes! 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 She goes down! Okay. Come on, L3. No! Okay. Oh, that's not good. All right, L3 was revived. Let's go after Asajj Ventress here now and let's try to take her out.
You're going to have a hard time with that spirit at the end.
I know.
Yeah.
But
well, you've seen it here first, folks. The new Scoundrel team can take out yesterday's meta.
Take out yesterday's meta? No, not quite. I mean, so far they've held up against yesterday's meta.
They're competitive against yesterday's meta.
Okay, come on. You know, Asajj Ventress is like such an annoying... Bam! 28K in your grill piece. All right, come on. Let's go. Let's dispel this taunt. All right, now let's get Ghost. All right, we're gonna throw up those dice. Oh, come on, man. 1 minute left.
Yeah, good luck. And, you know, unfortunately, we got access to Spirit kind of as the Night Sister meta died, but she is awesome. She is a fantastic character.
Well, this is where it happens.
That speed, oh, yeah, that speed down is going to be clutch.
Okay, throw it up. Throw it up one last time. God, come on, man. She dodged. That's ridiculous. Okay, we got to take her out. We got to take her out here. Yep, 51K. That's how you do it.
Yeah, that will do it. Yeah, that will work.
Come on, man. This is so annoying. It's like absolutely ridiculous.
But Master Kylo says ninja spirit.
Yes! Yes, now auto this. Come on, let's go. Bam! Yes!
Pretty says
Yes,
Vandor Chewy seems pretty underwhelming. That's an understatement.
Let's say he just banged her out for like 40K on that last one though. And how sad is it though when you're sitting here throwing your arms up over beating the Night Sisters? In literally 4 minutes and 55 seconds. You know what I mean? I'm sitting here going nuts over beating the Night Sisters in 4 minutes. It took me the full 5 minutes to do that, and I'm sweating over here. I'm sweating. Not quite, but still, that was pretty close. It was a little closer than it should have been. But I mean, that was good. Okay, let's go. Actually, do one more battle, and then we'll do the top 5. Actually, let's do the top 5 right now because we haven't done that yet. It's already 45 minutes in. All right, so first we're gonna look at the meta report, and in looking at the meta report here, I mean, shock me. Emperor Palpatine is number 1, but he's actually taking an even bigger piece of the pie if that's possible. And Rex is now number 2. Or actually, Rex was number 2, but the real interesting thing here that I see is Hera Syndulla is now number 10 on the top 10 leaders at rank 1.
I must have missed something. I must have missed something this past week. I don't.
I believe either half or 101 people are doing drugs, or they've figured out some sort of secret that we don't know. Okay, because what is going on with the Hera Syndullas at rank 1? I didn't even know. I if I look in my arena, I can't see a Hera Syndulla in the top 1,000.
Perhaps it's a counter to Traya that I'm just not too savvy on. Maybe. I mean, it's got to be a counter to something meta because you just don't come up. I can understand if there's like a handful of them, new players starting using the Phoenix out of the gate, but not 101. Like, you just don't come out of nowhere and take up, what?
She's now the 10th best leader in the game.
Yeah.
In the game. Okay? Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, that's crazy. Hera Syndulla is the 10th best leader in the game right now. And I gotta tell you, I mean, maybe it has something to do with, like, some of the new rebels. I mean, not really rebels. I mean, maybe it has to, maybe like Emphy's Nest and Hera Syndulla make a New York cheesecake. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You tell me.
Maybe. I mean, even deeper than the top 10, you're seeing some interesting. There's Boba Fett's close. Darth Maul's making a climb back up. Asajj Ventress has fallen. Thrawn's down there. Nihilus. But Nihilus actually has, 50-50. Finn has about 40. So, I mean, Admiral Akbar is still kind of hanging out. Qui-Gon. I mean, there are characters that are kind of climbing slowly but surely. Maul will make it to the top leaders soon. That's a pretty tough team.
Well, we're seeing a lot of Wedge Antilles here too on the meta report.
Nah, that's gone. Nest just creams that now. You don't stand a chance. Like this, like that was the counter for Traya, but now if these Traya teams include Nest goes first, dazes the team, and you get no assists on the danger zone. There's no countering at all for CLS or Han, and you're just it just kind of kills that dream.
We're seeing some Vader lead here too.
Yeah. Somebody was talking about that on Discord the other day. That'd be interesting because I mean I don't know.
There's definitely some stuff going on here on the top 10 leaders meta report.
I'll tell you what, Vader is very interesting because Treya's got the Zeta unique where she dispels all the debuffs, but she can dispel it and then just come right back. So I guess it's triggering before it gets dispelled. Perhaps I'm not sure how that's working, but that's something I'm gonna look into because that's actually a pretty cool idea. Just dot him to death and then get Wampa just going like a machine. I'm sure I guarantee Wampa's on those teams, but that's pretty savvy, pretty neat little trick there. I'm gonna try that out.
I mean, do you think this Hera Syndulla thing is kind of like when Clone Sergeant number 1 was the best at rank 1?
Yeah, maybe.
You know, it was like
There
10
could
best.
be some underground
But
troll pit
that's a
going on.
lot. That's a lot. I mean, there were like
Yeah,
12. There were like 12 clone sergeants at rank 1. There's 100 Harrison duelists at rank
yeah.
1. And that's crazy. So, all right. I mean, that's the top 10 leaders at rank 1. Let's move on to the top 10 squad members at rank 1. And not much change. Grand Admiral Thrawn still number 1. Emperor Palpatine right behind. Darth Nihilus, Darth Sion, Darth Vader. I mean, again, the Sith dominating the top 5, with the exception of Grand Admiral Thrawn, who's just a great utility dark side character and works great behind an Emperor Palpatine lead because of the Empire synergy. But General Kenobi continues to slip, now falling behind R2D2 to number 7 on the top 10 squad members at rank 1. I think he continues to slip. But as we discussed in the past, and like I said on the last stream, Darth Traya makes her first appearance on the top 10 squad members at rank 1 at number 10. So Darth Traya is now the 10th best squad member at rank 1.
And that's why you see Kenobi falling.
Yep. She's going to continue to climb, and Darth Traya will be right behind Darth Vader pretty soon. And as more people unlock her, she'll be, getting ever closer to Emperor Palpatine.
Well, and I'd imagine as more and more people realize how powerful Nest is at low gear and stars, she might make an appearance on this list in the next few weeks as well.
Yep. Emphy's Nest for sure. Yeah.
That's she's really going to mess up. I think the Palpatine meta is done. It's over. Pretty much. Without if you have the triumvirate in there, obviously it still works. But if you don't have the full triumvirate, just the Palpatine Vader trick's not going to do you as well as it has the previous few months. It's fallen by the wayside quick. But we'll see. Maybe hopefully I'm wrong, because a lot of people are using that team. And we'll see.
We will see. But yeah, Darth Traya in the top 10 squad members at rank 1 finally, which was definitely something that we could see coming from a mile away. But the Sith continue to dominate, and Kenobi continues to fall out. I think Kenobi is out of the top 10 squad members at rank 1. I think he's out of the top 10 probably in the next 30 days.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, it's just he's worthless. Like Traya isolates him, he gets shocked. There's too much going against him. And Nest has buff immunity. So many of these new characters and new comps just render him useless, and it's unfortunate, but he's had plenty of time in the sun. He can take a little break.
He's also a little bit squishy now, to be honest with you. I feel like he's a little squishy now. But maybe that's me. I mean, I don't know. I have him all the way maxed out, max, gear. You couldn't gear him up anymore, and I have protection and health on him. Still gets. I feel like he dies. So Han Solo could take him out in like 3 shots. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty hardcore. Anyway, that's our top 10 squad members at rank 1 and top 10 leaders at rank 1. We're going to move on to our top 5 this week. And this week we are doing top 5 positive status effects. It's a little bit different. Normally we go through characters, but we have a lot of effects now in the game, more so than we've ever had in the past. And some specific to certain characters, some just general buffs that people can give to anybody or receive from anybody. And we're going to take a look at those here. But our number 5 status effect is speed up. So why do we go with number 5 as the 5th best status effect in the game?
Well, I mean, this game, apart from the recent EP lead meta, this game has always been about speed. Who goes first? If you go first, you increase your chances by winning. Just speed wins in this game, whether you want to admit it or not. Mods win. It's all about the speed of your characters, and speed up gives you 25% additional speed. The end. I mean, it gives you more speed. There really isn't that many instances of it in the game. Like special forces TIE pilots, like Veers has speed up. Just
I remember early in the game, Poggle used to give speed
Poggle,
up.
yes,
Yes,
Poggle's one. Yeah,
and that was cool. You know, and yes, it's kind of an underused buff, kind of like I'd say a sleeper. You know, one that doesn't get used enough. I feel like could be more. You know, more used in the game for sure. I'd like to see more characters give speed up.
yeah. If we get a couple meta characters or like a future character to come out and deliver speed up, like an AOE speed up to your team, then this would probably be much higher than 5. Just
well,
9 times out of 10, the only time you see speed up is when Thrawn counters and hits you with his basic and puts speed up on you for 1 turn. You know,
what I'd really like to see is a character that can choose or select another ally that gets speed up, right? Because that would be pretty awesome. Like if you could target an ally and give them speed up, you could kind of manipulate that by putting the right character in that spot. And you know, I mean, let's say it's like you're like a character that's already super fast, you can make them faster. Or if it was a character that kind of like had an advantage at the beginning of the match, like let's say maybe Han Solo, you know, like how he gets to shoot first. Maybe this character goes first and he can give speed up to any ally on the board, right? So it's like the first thing he can do is only give speed up to somebody, right?
yeah.
That would be kind of cool because, again, that would, I think, change the way the battle starts a little bit. But maybe I'm nuts. Anyway, our number 5 positive status effect in the game is speed up. Moving along to number 4. The number 4 positive status effect in the game is
Stealth.
And why do we have stealth here?
Well, I mean, stealth for the obvious reason. I mean, a lot of reasons. Stealth, I mean, you can't be targeted. But the cool thing about stealth is if you target an enemy that has counter, they can't counter you. If it avoids so much. I mean, it's a great ability, and there's lots of it. I mean, R2 has been a meta character for ever since he was released because he just AOE stealths the whole team. Just makes it real difficult, just annoying. Yes, it can be dispelled. There are multiple AOE all of these buffs can be dispelled, right? But it just keeps you hidden, keeps you protected, and especially a case like Geonosian Spy, Sith Assassin. I mean, these are really squishy characters that the only reason they're even usable is because they have a stealth mechanic to add to their survivability. It's I mean, it's great. I mean, these JTR teams, they wouldn't be nearly as difficult. I mean, they wouldn't be very difficult without the R2s on there stealthing everybody. So it basically, I mean, especially in R2's case, it gives you like a passive taunt almost. You know, everyone's stealth except whoever you target. So there's just a lot of benefits to it.
Well, stealth can be utilized as almost a pseudo taunt.
Yeah.
Right? Because, I mean, like, if you have a character like R2D2, you're basically selecting who's going to be taunting for the next 2 turns. So, you know, whoever you pick is going to be the one character that's going to be, you know, able to be targeted. So, you're basically selecting, like I said, basically a taunt for the next couple turns. And because the stealth mechanic can be dispelled, there's obviously some weakness there. But I mean, again, any positive status effect can be dispelled. Any negative status effect can be dispelled. So I mean, again, it's one of those things where you know, a mechanic like this is great because it protects certain characters. You know, obviously, you know, Hermit Yoda, you know, stays stealthed. You know, Night Sister Acolyte can you know, stay stealthed, and that can kind of protect her, especially if it's only her and Night Sister Zombie there at the end of a battle. You can basically, you know, sustain and sometimes make a comeback win just because of the stealth mechanic that kind of holds you in place there with that taunt. So it's a very strong mechanic, and again, when used correctly, in circumstances like with you know, R2D2 for example, it can be a great opportunity to kind of protect all the different characters in your team, because you can strategically, you know, stealth with one character, and then when, you know, the turn comes back, you can stealth another, and they'll never get a chance to really put full damage on any, single character and take them out all the way. So very cool. And if you know that, let's say for example, Darth Nihilus has an Annihilate coming up pretty soon, you can use that mechanic to pick the character that you want to be taken out. So if they can, let's say, take out your Rey Jedi Training or somebody like that, you can force them to take out, your General Kenobi or somebody that you don't mind losing, for example. So, again, that's our number 4 positive status effect in the game. Our number 3 positive status effect in the game is critical damage up. Critical damage up adds 50% critical hit damage to your ally or to yourself, whichever character has it. But obviously, critical damage is a huge part of this game. Ever since crit damage mods were introduced, when mods first came out, and we all sought like crazy to get that Jawa challenge done, so we could get critical damage mods. Critical damage up adds even more critical damage to your character, and if you've jacked up that character with critical damage primary, and then used a set of critical damage mods, and then put critical damage up on them, that is what, Maurice? I mean, that can bring them to
266 if they got crit damage up. 266 crit damage. That's insane.
Right.
And then that's not any, and that's discounting any maybe leadership bonuses or passive bonuses they have from teammates. I mean, you can really jack up crit damage nowadays with some of these combos, and there aren't very many characters that do this. I think the Rey Jedi Training team utilizes it a lot. Like, I think a lot of people take it for granted. You take crit damage off Jedi Training Rey, and she's not hitting nearly as hard as you're used to. Like, it's a great, just pumps out the damage.
Right. And yeah, I mean, if you put that behind, like, let's say a Boba Fett lead, with an additional 50% crit damage, I mean, you can really, really get a lot of, high damage attacks. And, you're going to want to, increase that critical chance so that you get more critical damaged attacks, right? So you get more opportunities to get crits or critical hits. So, yeah, overall, crit damage up is a huge bonus to a Rey Jedi Training team, and can change the tide of the battle, and that's why it's great to have this buff, especially with BB-8, and that's what you get it with, right? With Illuminated Destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, and then Rey gives it to herself.
Right. So our number 3 positive status effect is critical damage up. Moving along to number 2. What do we have here, Maurice?
Oh, we got offense up. Very similar to crit damage up. The only reason it's ahead of crit damage up is that you don't have to crit for it to take effect. It just increases your damage. A lot of characters give this now, and we see it with these Chex Mix teams. People are using Pal, people are using Anakin, Qui-Gon Jinn, whoever the case may be, to give their Hans the offense up before they go into the standalone, and you get the offense up on Han and just hitting for 100K plus on his basic attack, and that's incredible. Just pumps up. I believe it's 25% damage, correct?
Yes.
No, yeah, 25%.
Sorry, 50% damage.
50% damage. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of damage, and especially like a character like Leia. If she's stealth when she's already in stealth, I mean, she gives herself all of these buffs that we're talking about. If she's already in stealth and she triggers the stealth again, she gets offense up, and you can just see the numbers. I mean, those of us that have played a while, we ran the clones in P4. A lot of people are running like a Leia Akbar team in P2 of the raid. And you can see that it's noticeable. She goes from 10K, 10K, 10K to getting offense up and crit damage up, and all of a sudden it's like 14K, 15K, 16K. It's just I mean it's big time. It's big damage.
Absolutely. And another reason it's number 2 and ahead of critical damage up is because it's just a lot more abundant. I mean, offense up you can get from several places, where crit damage up is kind of more of a scarce, a little bit more of a rare buff. Offense up, can be granted from several different characters, and it's a tremendous advantage that can kind of change the tide of the battle. If you have it at the right time. This game relies heavily on strategy and making sure that even at the end, even if you're kind of let's say losing the battle at the moment, that you have a good plan or a good strategy going in that you can still set yourself up there for let's say a good run of attacks at the end with offense up that can change the tide. And I mean, offense up is something that is a status effect that's been in the game since the beginning. I mean, when you're talking about 50% damage increase, I mean, that's a tremendous amount of damage. So, obviously, offense up is a huge benefit, gives you a huge benefit in the battle. And, again, it can be something that, really, puts you, ahead of your opponent when you get it at the right time. So, again, when you're sitting there theory crafting your squads out there and you're trying to put together a team for territory wars, for arena, you want to theory craft, when and if they're going to get these kinds of buffs. And if you do it correctly, I mean, if you can go back to the beginning of a game, when Royal Guard first got his passive taunt, and there had to be a strategy built around that. So you have to, just know when these mechanics are, available to you based on the characters that you have, and use them correctly. And offense up is definitely one that you can get from a lot of different places. So, but that's our number 2 positive status effect. Moving on to our number 1 positive status effect, and that is
evasion up,
tenacity up. Yes, and this is a tremendous buff. I mean, obviously, Rex is the king of tenacity up, and dispelling your negative status effects. Tenacity up can protect you from all your negative status effects, and negative status effects can be very bad for you and can kind of ruin your entire team and any strategy that you have and block you from really doing anything. So having tenacity up, especially at the beginning of an encounter, can give you the best advantage, to start the battle. So it adds 99.99999% tenacity. So, I mean, basically, there's still a small chance that something could happen, but it's very small. Basically, it's not going to happen.
That is correct, yeah. Well, just we're in the midst of a debuff heavy meta, and I mean, people have been riding the Rex wave not only for the past meta or so, but just in general since it's released because of this lone move. Churret, Rex, Zeb, certain characters give tenacity up just randomly. I believe the Ewoks have some tenacity up synergies. One of these scoundrels may give the tenacity up. I think it might be L3. I'd have to look, but there's a few characters that do it, and they're instantly, I mean, their grade, their like tier level, if you will, is instantly increased because they just have tenacity up in their kit.
Yep, absolutely, and you can already see some people talking about it in the chat. The honorable mention is Foresight. Yes, it's Foresight, and that gives you a 99.99999% chance to dodge attacks. And unless you're Darth Vader. And you can go right through Foresight. Or General Grievous, who can hit you with his basic attack through Foresight. This buff can protect your allies. And when you're talking about somebody like Rey Jedi Training, who just constantly has Foresight, when you're talking about somebody like Yoda, who can gain Foresight on a basic attack, give Foresight to his allies. This buff here can really protect your team, and it's a buff that wasn't here at the beginning of the game. It kind of came with Yoda, I believe. That came with the Grandmaster Yoda, right?
That's a while ago. I can't remember. I know some older characters do have the mechanic, but it might have been added later. I don't know for sure. But
I think Grandmaster Yoda brought foresight into the game. Yes, it was Grandmaster Yoda that brought foresight into the game. Yeah.
Okay, so if that's yeah, so that's that, and the only reason this ability isn't higher is because it's almost like the devs were like, ooh, I think we overdid it with foresight a little bit. Let's make a bunch of characters that can't be evaded, so it 3 months ago I believe this would have been in the top, 3 or 4 probably, but now it's just so many characters can get around it, and even if the character's stunned, the foresight doesn't work anymore like it used to. But it's a great ability. It adds to survivability. We mentioned Sith Assassin earlier. The Finn leads to some extent, work off foresight capabilities. The Jedi training Rey, the Jedi Qui-Gon, like you mentioned, they all focus. Even the new Hermit Yoda, they all have some sort of foresight mechanic. And it basically just gets you, if you can't get hit, you can't get hurt, and if you time it properly, you can really dodge some really really big attacks. Because you've timed your team properly and put foresight up at the appropriate time. So we see it every day in arena. Every day, you're gonna face one team with foresight on your climb, no matter what. So
it's a great buff, and and foresight has a foresight came out with Hermit Yoda. I'm sorry, not Hermit Yoda, with Grandmaster Yoda. But what I was thinking of when I was thinking about foresight was fortitude, and that was something that they were originally going to call protection, if you remember. Like before, protection was called protection. When they were thinking about adding protection, they were going to call it fortitude. So I just remembered that because of the foresight that we're talking about here. But
I'm kind of glad they went with protection.
Right. But that's what they were thinking about calling it at first. Yeah, but anyway, that's our top 5 positive status effects, courtesy of the Alliance, good old Maurice. And next week we're going to be doing top 5 negative status effects. Yes. Now, we don't normally do these very often. Again, this is the first time we've ever done top 5 status effects. So if you like the video, please give us a like on the or if you like the top 5, give us a like. Otherwise, next week we're gonna do top 5 negative effects. Then we'll get back to characters, and we'll do possibly top 5 Zetas overall, and get back to some of the top 5s that we haven't done in quite some time. I mean, we've done a lot of top 5s, but some of these top 5s have changed over the course of the last few months. So we'll get back to doing some of those that maybe we did towards the end of last year, and try to see if any of those have updated and changed some of those characters now. So we can also take a look at what we chose back then and see what the list looks like now, and see how much of a difference there is. But let's go back to some gameplay here, and what we'll do is we'll go back to another ship battle. But while we do that, if you guys have any topics you'd like to discuss, if you have any questions, if you have any just things you'd like to talk about that your heart desires, now is the time to type it into the chat, because Maurice and I were going to go over some questions and answers here towards the end of the stream before we wrap it up. So if you guys have anything you'd like to talk about, now's the time. Do we have any questions from before? You said I remember when you were taking pictures before. You had one that you wanted.
yeah. We've got a few questions here.
Okay.
Hold on, let me pull them up. Let's see. We got first question from Josue Garcia. When do y'all think the ship's mission table will open up? I guess he's talking about the PvE section that's kind of blocked off for us now in the ship's area.
That's a good question. I think very, very soon. I think we're looking at possibly. I thought it was going to happen this week. I mean, with them going to EA Play and everything like that, I thought that was going to happen this week. But it could be. I mean, I think it's going to coincide, obviously, with the addition of a new ship. Or maybe the addition of a ship, maybe the bringing of, like, let's say, a ship to free to play. So I think that, like, a ship, like, for example, when they do release it, a ship like either the Millennium Falcon or Maybe even well, every other ship is already attainable somewhere else. So I mean, maybe the Millennium Falcon will become attainable in one of those nodes. But I think probably within the next 30 days, which seems a little soon if the Millennium Falcon is going to be a farmable ship there. So I don't know. Maybe they'll put some characters there. Maybe we'll be able to farm. Um, maybe we'll be able to farm Bosk there or something.
Well, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, just like we talked about earlier, the pace they're releasing these characters now, they are going to run out of places to do so, like to have them farmable, especially with them blocking off, these stores. They've said they're not going to include anything new in any of the stores because they want that to be the source for shard shop currency once you've played for so long. It'll be interesting, and just because they open up the PVE ships doesn't mean they have to give us access to everything right away. They could open it up and give us access to maybe the first or second levels of it and let us get, acquainted to it, and then, slowly release more. Maybe when the Falcon's ready to be farmable, they open up the third or fourth table, and just slowly do it like they did with the regular ones. When we first started playing this game, one, you had to be a certain level, and two, they're just certain tables that were just locked. You couldn't access them no matter what level you were. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. It'll be fun, Hopefully they give us some good stuff to farm. We'll see. Hopefully they give us, an easier way to farm the reinforcement ability mats, maybe some gold mats, which is highly unlikely, but one can hope.
Well, I think that's what you're looking at first, at least. I think you're looking at like that, them giving us an easier way to farm some of these materials, but it's going to depend on what's going on there. I don't think that. I don't think the Millennium Falcon is going to be available by the time that they release it. I think this is coming out before that, so I think we're probably looking at a few weeks from now. If anything, maybe by the end of this month. But we'll have to see. This is totally over.
All right, we've got couple here, and I'll start scanning the chat for more. Star Kai, thoughts on gearing Biston and Scarifable Pathfinder for their ship? This is the one I was snapping pics of.
Well, that's a total thing that you would snap pics of.
I like that ship a lot. I think I don't want to say it's worth the investment, because if you're a veteran player and you can kind of afford to start gambling on characters, like you've got all your raid teams lined up, you've got a nice arena team, whatever your guild requires for TW, you can start taking some gambles. These are two characters that may be worth it, and especially in terms of ship. The ship itself is fantastic, but these are two of the hardest characters in the game to gear up, both of them. Like, very, very difficult. Scarifable Pathfinder is almost like a clone of Kenobi. He takes an absurd amount of Carbonis to get there. But if you only have the resources to maybe do, one of the pilots, don't gear 7, gear 8, both the pilots. Go all in on Scarifable Pathfinder, because his ability is the one that makes the ship great. His is the one that gives the Biston. Biston's Ewing has 25% speed. In addition, whenever an enemy becomes target locked, another random ally gains 35% turn meter. So if you're using lots of turn meter mechanics, every time you drop a target lock on somebody, a target lock mechanic, every time you drop one on somebody, a random ship is 35%. And this ship's gotten even better now, because especially if you use them in his starting lineup, there's only 3 ships. So, it's not as random as it used to be. He's got a great reinforcement ability. You can come in and you don't have to waste a move to go stealth. You come in stealth already. If you choose to reapply it and target lock an enemy, you get offense up now to go along with it and calls an assist. So if you are thinking about doing the ship and you're limited on resources, kind of just, Biston's ability itself is it's okay. But Scarifable Pathfinder is the breadwinner of the ship, so just take him all the way up and kind of neglect Biston if you have to first. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that Biston is an interesting character, though. I really like Biston, and I like the frenzy ability, the buff that he has.
I'm a big Biston fan. It's just I haven't found a use for him lately.
Yeah, no, it's it's disappointing. But I mean, he's he was that character that should have never came into the game. He was not even spoken about in Rogue One, but we had him for months. The same thing with Pow. I mean, Pow at least I saw in the movie, and Biston I saw too. But I mean, he was like, I remember they had like a special where like they showed the guy who was dressed up as Biston, and like it was like like you thought Biston was gonna have like a bigger role in that film, and then it ended up like getting, I think he got, well, a lot of stuff looks like it got cut from the table there in that movie.
Yeah.
It looks like there was a whole other ending that movie had, and it was completely different. As you can see in the trailers, I mean, there's scenes where she's like running with the plans for the Death Star like on the sand or on the beach there of Scarif, and there's even scenes with like the shore troopers like fighting them like on the shore or coming out of the water, like the stormtroopers coming out of the beach water, like and like fighting there, and a lot of those scenes seem to have been cut on the editing table. So, but next question.
Next question, another one from Vistara. Which capital ship are you using now with ships 2.0?
Well, I'm still using Thrawn because that's the ship I invested in when I got some of the new ability when I got some of the new ability materials. But I'm probably gonna move on to the Executrix, unless a new capital ship gets brought into the game, which I think is imminent here. I mean, obviously they spend a great deal of time improving ships, right? I mean, they added the ability to get crystals up to level 50. They changed the way ships work. They're adding new ships now to the game. I think we're getting one, if not two, new capital ships probably over the next few months. I mean, I think that we'll see maybe a First Order capital ship and probably a Separatist capital ship or something of that nature to kind of bring along the Separatist synergy. I mean, I think it's only a matter of time before we see a Separatists rework as well. So I think that'll probably happen, unfortunately, before we see a droid or a Jedi rework, because that's probably a bigger deal, even though people like General Grievous would probably be included in that. So,
yeah, and just, I don't know. Like, I was like, ooh, new abilities, and just kind of spammed all my remaining prestige on Thrawn. And while I don't regret it, I do kind of wish I would have taken a second, took a deep breath, and looked at all the ships before I just went bananas and just invested everything in one ship. So I like Akbar. A lot of people like Tarkin. I haven't really fooled them much. Mace seems really good as well. It's just that's a big grind for me. I didn't even have him maxed out before. And like you mentioned, if another capital ship comes out and I've wasted, and invested all this prestige and one or two of these existing ships, and then I got to start from scratch on a new one. You're just like, oh. So at this point in the game, if you get a capital ship and you don't at least take it up to 6 or 7 on the abilities, it's pretty much unusable.
yeah.
I mean, so that is something to keep in mind. That's a very good point. If you've got one capital ship, maybe build a little bank and then start working on a second one just in case. Because if it's a new capital ship, chances are it's going to be the best capital ship. So you don't want to farm the ship, get everything you need to collect the ship, get the 7-star ship, and then like, oh, I can't use this for 4 months because I got to farm prestige out of the arena store, So yeah, next up we have another question from Josue, I believe. Yep. What else could CG introduce to make use of all the characters coming out besides adding new TV tables? Well, that would have been my answer. So you took that from me, man. I don't know. TV tables.
TV tables, but I mean, not just TV tables. I mean, I think. Repeat the question again. What else?
What else could see? Okay. What else could CG introduce to make use of all of these characters coming out besides adding new TV tables? You could be getting a legendary event for perhaps, Beckett or some other character that's in the movie.
I don't
That
think, do you
that's.
really think Beckett would be legendary though? I don't think so. I
I
mean,
mean, it's Woody Harrelson. He is legendary.
Woody Harrelson is legendary. That's
I
true.
have posters of Woody Harrelson in my house,
I love Woody Harrelson.
framed and autographed.
But no, I think yes. I think ultimately this team could be used for a legendary event. I don't think it's gonna be for Beckett necessarily, but I think that's. I think that other than that, there is going to be some other game mode besides TW or TB that we have to worry about. I think we will eventually see, other versions of, guild content where we work together to accomplish a goal. If that's not a raid or territory wars or territory battles, I think that they're probably in the midst of thinking of some cool things right now. And I have been told that there are some plans for a lot of really cool things to be implemented before the end of the year. They just really wanted to focus mainly on the movie for the time being because that's what Lucasfilm has required of them. You know what I'm saying? And that's how things work. I mean, when a movie's coming out, that's going to be the priority. So they're going to focus all their time and effort and all the content on that. But that doesn't mean that they don't have a lot of other things in the hopper. So I'm sure sooner rather than later we'll get word on, either some new game mode or, some new opportunity for us to try to, work together to accomplish something in the game. And, I think they have to do that almost because it's not just because of the new characters. We're talking about a lot of people that aren't necessarily super thrilled about, some of the new content in the game. Some people aren't really a huge fan of the Sith raid. Some people aren't a huge fan of territory wars right now. Now everybody has their different flavor. Like some people love territory wars, some people hate it. Some people love territory battles, some people hate it. Some people love the Sith raid, some people hate it. That'll always be the case. You can't make everybody happy. But one thing that needs to be addressed is kind of the grind on some of the veteran players that have been playing this game for a long time. And I see a lot of people that, are kind of getting or going down to playing it at like a casual level because they just don't want to, they don't want to try to be competitive in a game that takes up so much of their time. You know what I'm saying? And some people play more than one game, and there are other games to play out there. This game is amazing. I love this game. But they do need to think about something to try to either, first of all, include some sort of like a VIP program for veteran players to help them, be more more excited about getting crystals. I'm saying because that's that's what makes this game go round is getting crystals. There should be some program that makes me want to go spend money on crystals. And I feel like that's something they need to think about. Maybe a discount, or maybe even a like a VIP program where you get you get some sort of a special tournament or badge, or something. I mean, like I'm just trying to think of anything that can kind of change the way that players think about the game because it's at a point right now where I feel like a lot of people find it, either boring or they're kind of, at a point where they've kind of lost the passion to be competitive in the game. And if that's the case, I'd like to think of something that could help them or make them want to be competitive again. And hopefully they think of something that can, kind of help with that. I don't know if you're experiencing the same thing in your guild, but
Yeah, it's just there's so because most of the people in both of our guilds, the majority, we do have lots of newer faces and stuff. People do quit the game. We bring in new people, but the vast majority of the guys in Zai, we've been playing almost since day one. It's just we were used. The game's slowly gotten busier and busier, and just it reaches a point where it's like, well, okay, this is too much now. It just maybe. I mean, like for Galactic War, for instance, once you beat Galactic War 150 times, you get the opportunity to sim it. Perhaps something like TB, if you get the maximum amount of combat waves, X number of times, then you have the ability to sim it as well. Because I mean, if you can do it consistently over and over and over and over again, I mean, you're not getting any enjoyment out of that. And they have to know that. I mean, I know they want you to stay in the game and play and this and that. But like for me, if I could sim my TB, I'd still probably spend some time in the game. I'd have more time to remod my characters, kind of look at what just sit here and tinker with stuff. Because that's why I like the game so much, is I can tinker with everything. Everything is adjustable. You can build all sorts of squads, go at different speeds, all sorts of stuff you can do. It's just, I don't have time to mod some of these teams and stuff I want to try just because I'm doing TB, then I'm doing TW, and then I'm not complaining at all about these events, but every day there's events and they're optional. I don't have to do them. Of course, I want to do them, but there's just lots of stuff to do. And for months and months and months after the Rancor, everyone's like, "Oh, there's no content. There's no content." Well, we learned our lesson to ask for more content, because they're going to give it to us, boy. They're going to give us all the content. Take it all.
Take it all, yeah. And no, you're right. And there's a lot of content now, and that's the thing. It's like we were crying for content, and they gave it to us. And listen, hallelujah, content is great, but again, some of the stuff, once you've done it 100 times, becomes a little mundane, and it becomes a chore almost when you're thinking about what you have to do. I mean, sometimes doing territory battles, it's I'm not talking about territory wars necessarily, because that's a little bit different every time. But territory battles is the same, and it's like you're literally going through the same 6 waves for each battle. And territory battles takes a long time, especially like at phase 6, because you don't want to miss any waves, and you don't want to auto. So you're sitting there and you're playing through all 6 waves for 5 battles, and 4 battles plus your special mission, and it's very time consuming. It can take you 20 minutes, 25 minutes, plus you have to do, your arena, plus you have to do your raid today, plus you have to, you have to remod some of your characters, you have to, do your 600, you have to do, your challenges, you have to, sim your galactic war, but these are all things that you have to log in to remember to do. And for somebody who, for a game that originally started as just like for all of us as like just a quick hobby, because we never thought we'd ever be this into a mobile game. When it first came out, mobile games weren't as big as they are now. I mean, now mobile games are, the main thing. I think mobile games actually earned more money last year than console for the first time ever. So, mobile games are growing tremendously. But when the game first came out, it was just kind of like a thing you could pop in and play, while you're taking a break at work, or when you get 5 minutes to sit down for a little bit, and then you could pop in a few times throughout the day and get your things done. You really only had to play for a grand total of maybe a half hour a day to 40 minutes a day to get all your things done, and that was probably even a little bit too much. But now, realistically, on certain days, if you want to do everything, you got to put an hour and a half into the game. Sometimes,
The other day, we kind of stacked a bunch of tickets and ended up running 3 raids, just kind of 2 hours apart. Ran all 3 of the raids. We had, I think it was TB phase 5. I think it was. I've got my arena. I've got my ship arena, which again now everyone it's hyper competitive in ship arena now. Everyone's testing new stuff out, really playing it, which is cool because ship arena really got stale. So I'm not. That's 2 hours of arena. That's 15 minutes of the phone being in my pocket for Rancor. That's an hour for the tank. It's 3 hours really for the Sith raid. Just popping in, seeing if it's progressed. You can just popping in, popping out. And just that's a lot of time. I probably spent 3 to 5 hours playing the game. In one day. Yes, it was a weekend, but still. That's crazy for a mobile game. I used to play games like Fallout and Skyrim and stuff like that on my console, and I wouldn't sit there for 5 hours and play it. That's
right.
About.
Yeah, it's a lot of time, man.
Yeah,
and and when you think about the fact that you spent all that time and you still have things that you have to do, like you still have to remod, and sometimes that's you have to go in and like level up your bottom characters because that helps your GP with your guild, and and you have to make sure that you post 0 in the raid, and that you have to make sure that you know, you have to make sure you do so many different things, and it's just again, it's one of those things where for people that started off with this being more of a light investment of time, where spending the money wasn't the problem. It was just that you didn't have such tremendous obligations, and if you don't do these things, you're letting 49 other people down.
Yeah, and that's when it real that is honestly when it changed. Like when they put such a stress on the guild, like for TB and TW, the raids. Once you clear the raid and you get it, and it does take full participation to knock it out the first 5 to 10 times. But after that, it's totally optional. You can post zeros. They've made it super easy now just to join. You don't even have to worry about like posting a 0 anymore. Just hit the join button. And so I mean, it's super simple. It's raids are technically optional. I wish there was, if they're gonna do new content, I hope it's like single player oriented, like a tournament setting, or something that
please bring back tournaments.
If you don't do it, you don't interfere with 49 other people's enjoyment of the game. Like if I don't want to do the tournament, I just don't do it. Who cares? I don't get the rewards. But if I do, then I make my account a little better. It's totally my call, my option, and that I would like to see that something like that added. That would be cool.
I would love to do tournaments again, man. I would love
any sort of single player, like even I guess the PvE ship table is kind of single player oriented. Yeah. So I guess that's what it is. But something where I don't know. I don't want to like if I'm super busy at work or having a long day or doing whatever I'm doing, it doesn't matter. I don't want to like damn. I gotta go take a quote bathroom break for 30 minutes to make sure I get all this in. Like in the middle of the day, it's because you don't want to let the other guys down that are doing it. You don't want to be that guy that doesn't get their 600 or doesn't, beat the Rogue One mission on P6. It's just
no, you don't. You got to get your stuff done, and again, that's one of those things that I think needs to be addressed. I think over time they have to figure out some way to satisfy everybody's ability to play the game. Obviously they're not going to make everybody happy, but satisfy everybody's ability to play the game. Because long term, if they continue to keep adding content to the game, it'll get to a point where it's impossible. So I mean, obviously they've made things like shortcuts for Galactic War, and some of the other stuff that we do. Being able to post zeros in a raid or just join raids. They need to add more quality of life updates like that. That can continue to make the playing of the game or all the content, especially if this Sith raid, you're at almost 6 stars now with Darth Treya. Eventually, you're going to have her 7 stars. And then are you going to really care about the Sith raid that much anymore after that? Probably not.
I don't know. Once I get her 7-star, I'll back off and just kind of get,
right. It's all
I'll back off and let everybody else catch up, and then I will probably go hard at it again just for the gear, and
for the gear, right? Basically,
yeah.
But I mean, going for Trey is the main chase right now. That's really the main thing that's driving me in the game right now is trying to get Trey, because I mean, that's a character I really want. What I mean, and
yes, but once I have Trey, I won't be like sneaking off in the middle of the workday to to do it.
It won't be as
I'll hit it if I'm available, but I won't like make special time to participate in it.
Yeah, I understand.
We got.
Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, we had I had one in the chat and then I lost it here. Let me look. Well, okay, here's one at the bottom while I look for the other one. We'll answer this one. Hans, Omar, Vaughn, Harold Duerte. On the ally points, will they do some scaling with the reward drop, or they would add like an equipment set fully craft part to one hero? I should have proofread this before I ever started reading it out loud. Sorry. Ally points. Will they do some scaling with the reward drops? Or would they add an equipment set to one hero, or would they add 1 to 10 million in there? Oh, you know what? I
think he's saying like maybe they'll add like 10 million credits to like the ally points, kind of like a like a credit heist where you have a chance to get credits, so you have a chance to get better rewards from the ally point or the bronze. I think he's talking about bronzium packs.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, yeah, or like being able to use ally points to do some like purchase, like maybe out of the guild store or something like that. Like have a an ally point store, if you will, or something. That's feasible, and perhaps they
Yeah,
have addressed the multi bronzium opening packs as more difficult than it seems in terms of like coding and making it work properly. They answered that pretty at length in one of the interviews they did with one of you guys. I don't remember which one it was, but um,
I think that it could happen down the road. I think they could maybe increase the rewards. They already have. They've said they've changed some of the rewards in the past. I remember for a while they increased the drops on shards for bronziums when the game first came out. You know, you weren't
yeah,
really getting that many shards, and now you do. But again, it's one of those things where it's going to take you a long time to open those bronziums. I mean, I have like a ton of bronziums, you know, and I'm just going to save them. You know, I'm going to save them, and eventually, hopefully, they add something where I can use that currency in game, or they'll add something where I can use that currency for the tournaments again, and that would be awesome. That's really the main reason I'm saving it, is because I feel like they're just gonna tell you use it, don't worry about it, we're not doing anything with it, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, like last time, they're just gonna tell you, well, actually, this is how you earn your, you know, this reward, or this is how you use this is the currency you use for this challenge, and you know, I just definitely want to be prepared for it. So I'm not going to do anything with my ally tokens until the time comes that I feel like they're going to put something into the game where we can utilize them, you know, for something good or something that's worthwhile. So I'm just going to keep stacking those up.
yeah, and there is some good stuff in there. Like I constantly find myself farming the MK1 like armor pads and the green computers, like the stuff that you need to craft scanners with, and I constantly am farming for that, and then they drop pretty high drop rates out of those bronziums. I just I don't want to spend the time I have in the game just spamming them. I've got probably 800,000 or so ally points. So it would be cool to have just like here, you could spend 5,000, 10,000 ally points and get X, or you spend this many and get Y credits, prestige, omegas, zetas, whatever it is. That would be cool. Just like a quick purchase.
Yeah.
Um, I did find the question I was looking for. It came from Quentin G. Predictions on the next legendary character.
Hmm. A lot of people are thinking that it might be Maul, like a version of Old Man Maul, and I don't think that that's going to be the next legendary character. Although that would be awesome. Um, I think the next legendary character is going to be probably. I think it'll probably be somebody from. Hmm. Oh,
Could be
uh,
Beckett. It could be
I don't think so.
somebody like Django Fett or something, perhaps. I mean, we have all these bounty hunters. Bosk is now going to be farmable here in the next couple of weeks, so
Maybe
we have access to all of them now. And maybe as soon as Bosk hits hits wherever he's going, they give us a double drop and announce some
I'll tell you.
new.
You know who it could be is this guy right here, Embo,
Yeah, could
and
be.
and it could be Embo, and he's a character um, that is tremendous, and he's a character that was almost released to the game a while back, so his kit already exists, his character model already exists. He just is basically pending approval from Lucasfilm, I think. So it's one of those things where he would be a great fifth character to add as a bounty hunter to have all your bounty hunters. So let's say you were forced to have, uh, you know, Zam and Bosk and Greedo, or 5 bounty hunters to get a character. That would be probably a great character to have to get with that. So to get Embo, I would go. I would level up all my scoundrels or all my bounty hunters. So,
because remember there was that pack that was, I don't want to say leaked or whatever, but they had a pack and Embo's picture was in the pack, like for shards that you could purchase. I don't think it dropped them. I don't think it was intended, but like there was a picture floating around of, you know, the Japanese packs that had Embo in it.
Yeah, and there were internal conversations about Embo. Like, he was on the table. It just didn't end up happening.
Well, it'd be nice to get some more bounty hunter options, you know, because they have nice synergies and they all got the cool contracts and stuff. There are one or two that I really just, I'd hate to gear up and then another one come out, because whatever comes out will definitely replace, you know, like, I don't know. I'm not a big Greedo and Dengar guy.
I don't think a lot of people are, but I mean, you know, I like Bosk. I like.
I haven't really. I mean, mine are Gear 9. I haven't given them a fair chance or shot at their new, you know, synergies and stuff. So, but so many stun cuffs just for Greedo, just like ugh.
All right. Do we have any more questions?
Mr. Wonderful asks, best Rex arena composition without Wampa.
Rex, Nest, Emphy's Nest. I'd say maybe Darth Scion.
You know, I mean, that you're on the. I just throw in Nihilus in a tank, either Crew or Kenobi.
I'd say maybe Nihilus and then I'd probably go with Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Thrawn's also a great option. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah. I mean, Nest replaces Wampa, does the same sort of thing, especially against Palpatine teams. If you still got a lot of Palpatine on your shard, same purpose, and she's faster. So, yeah, I tell you what, it's great if you can get your Nest out there pretty quick. I mean, you just get out there and daze the Palpatine teams, and they just sit there. You just you know. So, I like Nest a lot. I like Nest with Rex. I like Nest with everybody. I think you do too. So this will be the very pro Nest stream for the next month or so. So
we're gonna be all about Nest. This is very pro Nest here.
Yes. Any questions you guys ask, the answer will probably include Nest.
Any question you ask, the answer is Nest. So don't even ask. It's just Nest. But I mean, no, seriously, Nest is a great character. You know, I'm gonna do more. I want to make a video just on Nest. So. We'll get there. But
we got one more here that came in just now.
Okay.
It's from Tim Timmons. With the increasing necessity to have multiple Zetas for the heroic Sith triumphant raid, is it unreasonable to expect increased drop rates for Zeta mats in the future? Well, they're giving us more access to them. I don't know about like physical drop rates from the challenges or anything, but in the event we get like a level cap increase, they could do an extra tier. Like we just got an extra tier. We don't get any extra Zetas, but you know, something we could get an additional tier. You know, we have access to Talisman and Wicket now, so those events come around once or twice a month. And the one this weekend actually happened back to back. I don't remember. I thought it was just
I thought that was a glitch or something. But I mean, to be honest, if they're giving us back to back, you know, Zeta challenges like that, that's a quick way to rack up some Zetas. And I do think that eventually they'll either add Zetas to the daily login, like they did with Omegas, or
I agree, yeah,
or you'll just be able to get them out of the challenges when we get to, let's say, level 90.
Because they've given us essentially new things to farm in both the ship Omegas and the reinforcement abilities. So those are the new ability mats, and Zetas are kind of the older one. You know, maybe we get some like, you know, we have the Omega battles. Maybe there's an occasional Zeta battle. You know, they're slowly giving us ways to access. A TW is a great way. I mean, if you win twice, I mean, even if you lose twice, I mean, you can get one or two, even if you lose. So it's they're slowly catching up. They're getting there because it's taken me less than 2 weeks now, probably to acquire enough Zetas to do a full full 20. Just the Omegas I can't keep up with, but the Zetas, you know, I can probably do a couple Zetas a month. I'll track the next one and see how long it actually takes, but buy them every day from Fleet Store.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, once you get to the point where you don't need anything really out of there, get Zetas every day.
The grind will get easier over time, for sure. However they do it. But we're going to wrap it up here, guys. And, you know, it's getting kind of late. We appreciate everybody sticking around with us. It's almost 3 a.m. Eastern time here. And, you know, we're having a good time. We'll be back next week on Sunday night with the Alliance Live Show number 52. And we're going to be taking a look at, you know, hopefully some new characters that are going to be coming in over the next couple of days. You know, I definitely look forward to making some videos during the week this week, so you can check it out. I have a movie review coming out for the movie Hereditary as well, so you can check that out if you guys like to hear me rant about films. So I'm going to be doing more of that kind of stuff. But if you guys want to chat with me and Maurice, you know, you can always come to the AllianceGaming.com and, you know, find the link there to our Discord. Or if you just want to, you know, ask me a question, you know, I'm always available. Also, you know, if you guys, you know, want to send me a tweet or, you know, just, you know, whatever, I have a Twitter, and it's, you know, at Ramon Azab or at Ramon_Azab. But, you know, I appreciate you guys taking the journey with us tonight. And we'll be doing another Marvel Strike Force live show next week as well. So stay tuned for that. You know, good stuff. I appreciate everybody sticking around late tonight. And may the Force be with you guys. And we will see you on the next one. Sayonara.